Imagine you are looking for a house to buy. You have saved up for years, you have done your research, you have found your dream home. You are ready to make an offer, but then you find out that someone else has already bought it. And not just anyone, but a Wall Street investor who paid cash, sight unseen, and above the asking price. And they are not going to live in it, they are going to rent it out to someone like you who can't afford to buy it. How would you feel? Angry? Frustrated? Hopeless? Well, this is not a hypothetical scenario, this is happening right now, all over America. The Wall Street is buying up houses and turning them into rentals, squeezing out the middle class and the millennials from the American dream. In this video, I'm going to talk about a very important topic: how the Wall Street is ruining your chances of homeownership. Yes, you heard me right. The Wall Street, the financial elite, the big banks and corporations are making it harder and harder for you to buy a house in America. And I'm not just talking about the high prices, the bidding wars, the low inventory, or the tight lending standards. I'm talking about something much more sinister and systemic. How the Wall Street is buying up houses and turning them into rentals, squeezing out the middle class and the millennials from the American dream. You may think I'm exaggerating, but I have the facts and the data to back it up. In this video, I'm going to show you how the Wall Street is creating a new housing crisis, why they are doing it, and what you can do to fight back. So, buckle up and get ready for some shocking revelations. But before we jump into that, please don't forget to subscribe and smash the bell icons so you never miss any of our videos. Alright, let's start with some numbers. According to the US Census Bureau, the homeownership rate in America is 66%, which means that 1/3 of the population are renters. That's already a pretty high percentage, but it gets worse when you look at the younger generations. For millennials, the homeownership rate is only 51.5%, the lowest of any generation in history. And for Gen Z, the homeownership rate is even lower, at 26.3%. Why are so many young people renting instead of buying? Well, there are many reasons, such as student debt, stagnant wages, lack of savings, and preference for mobility. But there is also another reason, a big reason, that is often overlooked: the lack of affordable and available houses for sale. You see, we are facing a severe housing shortage in America. We built fewer homes in the 2010s than in any decade going back to the 1960s. And at the same time, millennials are the biggest generation, and they're entering into the home buying age. The demand for housing is far outstripping the supply, and that's driving up the prices to record levels. According to Redfin, a nationwide real estate brokerage firm, the median home price in America was $412,000 in September 2023. In some markets, such as Austin, Texas, the median home price was $530,000 as of January 2023. And these are just the asking prices. Many buyers are paying way more than the list price, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars more, in order to win the bidding wars. But who are these buyers? Are they ordinary people like you and me, who are looking for a place to live and raise a family? Or are they something else, something more powerful and predatory? Well, the answer is both. There are still many individual buyers who are trying to buy a house, but they are facing a new and formidable competitor: the Wall Street. Yes, the Wall Street, the same Wall Street that caused the last housing crisis in 2008, when they packaged and sold toxic mortgages to unsuspecting investors and then bet against them, making billions of dollars while millions of Americans lost their homes to foreclosure. You would think that after that disaster, the Wall Street would stay away from the housing market, or at least be more careful and responsible. But no, they are back, and they are bigger and bolder than ever. This time, they are not just selling mortgages, they are buying houses. And not just one or two houses, but thousands and thousands of houses all across the country. They are using their massive financial resources, their sophisticated technology, and their insider connections to scoop up houses before individual buyers can even see them. And what are they doing with these houses? Are they flipping them for a quick profit, or holding them for long-term appreciation? No, they are turning them into rentals and charging exorbitant rents to the same people who can't afford to buy them. That's right, the Wall Street is creating a new class of landlords who own and control a large and growing share of the housing stock in America. And they are not your friendly local landlords who live in the same neighborhood and care about the community. They are faceless, distant, and ruthless corporations who only care about maximizing their profits and pleasing their shareholders. How big is this phenomenon? How many houses are owned by the Wall Street? Well, it's hard to say for sure, because they are not very transparent about their activities. However, Some estimates suggest that large institutions owned roughly 5% of the 14 million single-family rentals nationally in early 2022. And they are not stopping there. They are buying more and more houses every day, especially in the hottest and fastest-growing markets, such as the Sunbelt states of Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Nevada. Who are these Wall Street landlords? Well, there are many of them, but some of the biggest and most notorious ones are Blackstone, American Homes, ForRent, Tricon Residential, Zillow, and many more. These Wall Street landlords have a huge advantage over individual buyers because they have access to cheap and easy credit thanks to the Federal Reserve, which has kept interest rates near zero for over a decade and has pumped trillions of dollars into the financial system, creating a liquidity bonanza for the Wall Street. They also have access to advanced data and algorithms, which allow them to identify and target the most desirable and profitable houses, and to make instant and automated offers, sometimes sight unseen, and sometimes above the asking price, leaving no chance for individual buyers to compete. They also have access to political and legal influence, which allow them to lobby and litigate for favorable policies and regulations, such as tax breaks, subsidies, eviction moratoriums, and zoning laws that benefit them and hurt their competitors and tenants. In short, the Wall Street has rigged the game in their favor, and they are playing it to win, and they are winning big time. They are making billions of dollars in rental income, capital gains, and fees, while paying little or no taxes, thanks to various loopholes and deductions. They are also creating a new asset class called single-family rental securities, or SFRS, which are basically bonds backed by the rental payments of thousands of tenants, and which are sold to other investors, such as pension funds, insurance companies, and foreign governments, creating a new source of demand and revenue for the Wall Street. But what about us? What about the people who are paying the price for this Wall Street takeover of the housing market? Well, there are many of them, but the biggest and most obvious ones are the renters and the would-be buyers, who are being priced out and locked out of homeownership. Would-be buyers are suffering from lack of inventory, high prices, bidding wars, and low appraisals. According to a recent survey by the National Association of Realtors, almost 50% of buyers faced competition when making an offer on a home in the second quarter of 2021. The same survey found that a significant number of buyers had to make compromises on their home purchase. About 81% of buyers made at least one compromise in order to afford their home, while 32% purchased a home that was smaller than they initially planned to buy. On the other hand, renters are suffering from rising rents, poor maintenance, hidden fees, and harsh evictions. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, a full-time worker needs to earn an average hourly wage of $28.58 in 2023 to afford a modest two-bedroom rental home without spending more than 30% of their income on housing. This is nearly 4 times higher than the federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. Therefore, the annual income needed to afford a two-bedroom rental home, assuming a 40-hour work week and 52 weeks per year, is approximately $59,446.40, which is significantly more than the annual earnings of a full-time worker earning the federal minimum wage. Now, you may be wondering, what's wrong with that? Isn't renting a good option for some people? Isn't it better to have these homes occupied than vacant? Isn't it good for the economy to have more investment and activity in the housing market? Well, not exactly. You see, these Wall Street-backed investors are not just providing a service, they are also creating a problem. A big problem. A problem that is hurting you and me and millions of other Americans who want to buy a home. How? Well, there are 3 main ways. The first way is by driving up the prices of homes. The second way is by reducing the supply of homes. And the third way is by exploiting the renters. These are not just numbers. These are real people, real families, real dreams that are being crushed by the Wall Street. So what can we do about this situation? How can we stop Wall Street from ruining our chances of home ownership? Well, there are a few possible solutions. One is to increase the supply of housing. We need to build more houses, especially affordable and multifamily houses, to meet the demand of the growing population. We need to reform the zoning and permitting laws that restrict the density and diversity of housing. And we need to invest in public and subsidized housing that serves the low-income and vulnerable communities. Another is to regulate the Wall Street landlords. We need to enforce the existing laws that protect the rights and interests of the tenants. We need to impose taxes and fees on the Wall Street firms that discourage them from buying and hoarding houses. And we need to create incentives and programs that encourage them to sell their houses to the tenants or to the local governments and nonprofits. A third is to empower the home buyers. We need to provide more financial assistance and education to the people who want to buy a home, especially the first-time buyers and the millennials. We need to expand the access and affordability of mortgages and down payments. And we need to create more opportunities and pathways for homeownership, such as co-ops, land trusts, and community land banks. These are some of the ways that we can do to save ourselves and reclaim our right to own a home. So, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned something new and valuable. If you did, please hit the like button and leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts, opinions, and experiences on this topic. Have you faced any challenges or opportunities in the housing market? What are your hopes and fears for the future of home ownership in America? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any future videos.